Struggling to make things stick? It's not your brain, it's your method. Here are 5 hacks to learn anything 5 times faster, even if you think you're a slow learner. 1. Use the Feynman Technique. The Feynman Technique is a simple yet powerful learning method that forces you to understand something deeply rather than just memorize it. It works by taking any concept you want to learn and trying to explain it in your own words as if you're teaching it to someone with no background knowledge, like a child. When you do this, you quickly realize where your understanding is strong and where it's weak. These weak points highlight exactly what you need to go back and review. This process of simplifying complex ideas not only improves comprehension, but also makes it easier for your brain to retain the information long-term. What makes this method so effective is that it transforms passive learning into active learning. Instead of reading and rereading a chapter, you're actively breaking it down, using analogies, examples, and even drawing it out to make it clearer. Each time you revisit the concept, you explain it more clearly and confidently. That act of retrieval and simplification strengthens neural pathways and improves recall speed. The more you teach it, even if it's just to yourself, the more it sticks. This technique is especially helpful for mastering complicated subjects like science, business strategies, or technical skills. 2. Break it into micro-sessions. Pomodoro Rule. The Pomodoro Technique is a time management method that boosts learning efficiency by using short, focused intervals. The standard structure is 25 minutes of deep, distraction-free work, followed by a 5-minute break. This cycle is called a Pomodoro, and after completing 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. The science behind it lies in the brain's ability to focus in short bursts. Long study sessions often lead to fatigue, reduced concentration, and ultimately, poor retention. In contrast, Pomodoro sessions prevent burnout and help maintain mental clarity throughout the learning process. By training your brain to concentrate for a set period, you build discipline and develop a rhythm of productivity. During each 25-minute session, you commit to a single task, avoiding multitasking completely. This sharpens focus and enhances cognitive absorption. The short breaks give your brain time to relax and process the information you've just studied, allowing memory consolidation to begin even before you sleep. Over time, this method helps reduce procrastination because the commitment is small, manageable, and feels achievable. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by hours of study, your brain gets used to working in small, high-impact bursts, making it easier to retain and recall information when needed. 3rd set, why-based goals. Learning becomes significantly faster and more meaningful when it's tied to a clear and emotionally driven why. Instead of just absorbing random facts, the brain performs better when it understands the purpose behind the information. When you have a strong reason for learning something, whether it's to get a job, start a business, solve a real-life problem, or fulfill a personal passion, your motivation increases and so does your retention. The brain treats purposeful learning as more valuable, so it prioritizes that information during memory formation. Setting why-based goals also gives you direction. You're no longer just studying a subject, you're working toward a specific outcome. This focus keeps you engaged, helps you filter out distractions, and allows you to structure your learning process more efficiently. Even difficult or boring topics become easier to handle when they're connected to a bigger vision or personal mission. This emotional connection triggers the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine, which reinforces the habit of learning. Moreover, a clear why helps you stay consistent. On days when motivation is low, your purpose acts like fuel, reminding you of what's at stake and pushing you to keep going. Learning isn't just about consuming information. It's about aligning it with a reason that matters deeply to you. 4. Learn, apply, repeat. Passive learning, like reading or watching videos without interaction, often gives the illusion of progress but leads to poor retention. The real power lies in applying what you learn immediately. When you take a new concept and put it into action by solving a problem, creating something, or even summarizing it in your own words, you force your brain to engage with the material on a deeper level. This process moves knowledge from short-term memory into long-term storage because it creates stronger neural connections. Application also helps identify gaps in understanding. For example, if you just watched a tutorial but can't replicate the steps on your own, it shows you haven't fully grasped the material. This feedback loop is essential for growth. It pushes you to revisit the concept, refine your understanding, and try again. The more you repeat this cycle, learn, apply, adjust, the faster and more effectively you master a skill. This principle applies across all fields. Whether you're learning a language, practicing coding, or studying marketing, application turns theory into experience. It transforms you from a consumer of knowledge into a practitioner. And that shift is what separates slow learners from rapid learners. Mastery doesn't come from input alone. It comes from consistent, intentional output. 5. Sleep like a student, not a zombie. Sleep plays a critical role in the learning process because it's during sleep, especially deep in REM stages, that the brain consolidates new information. When you learn something new, it first enters short-term memory. But without proper sleep, it often stays there temporarily and fades. A good night's sleep strengthens the neural connections formed during the day, turning fragile memories into stable, long-term knowledge. This is why people often find that problems they couldn't solve before sleep become clearer the next day, because the brain continues to process information even while resting. Sleep also improves focus, creativity, and decision-making, all of which are essential for effective learning. Sleep deprivation, on the other hand, reduces concentration, slows reaction time, and impairs memory recall. Just one night of poor sleep can dramatically lower your ability to absorb and apply new knowledge. That's why students and professionals who prioritize consistent, high-quality sleep tend to perform better cognitively. Even short naps can be powerful. A 20 to 30-minute nap after a study session has been shown to enhance memory and problem-solving ability. Whether it's overnight sleep or strategic rest during the day, proper rest isn't a luxury. It's an essential learning tool that directly affects how fast and how well your brain works.